All right, congratulations. We are getting ready to go to closing, and we're getting ready to get those keys to that home that you just purchased. But what goes on at closing? What goes on at closing? What, do you need anything? What goes on at closing? So here's what happens, guys. So the step number one is to get the home inspection. That's already been done. Okay, step number two is to get the appraisal. That's already been done. Everything's checked out. Okay, so what's going to happen kind of behind the scenes is you're going to be dealing with either an attorney or a title company. Okay, so an attorney or a title company, they will be handling your closing. Okay, so they're going to be handling your closing. Now, the cool thing about this is that this attorney or title company, they're going to do what's called a title search. Okay, so they're going to do a title search, and they go back a certain amount of years in order to see if there's any liens on the property that you're getting ready to buy. Okay, so you know that whenever you buy a property that you are getting that property free of all liens that could ever possibly be on that property. That's why that happens. Okay, and it all happens at the title company or an attorney. Okay, so they do that title search is what they call it, and hopefully that checks out all right. And if it doesn't, it has to be cleared up before you close on it. So the seller will have to clear it up before you close on it, because you cannot close. Okay, so you cannot close or buy a home that has issues, title issues, and maybe it's got a lien on it. You can't buy that, and because technically that would be your problem. Okay, so keep that in mind. Okay, so keep that in mind that you're always going to be buying a property that is free and clear of all liens, but make sure to back that up, that the title company and the or the attorney, okay, you can buy what's called a policy. Okay, it's a title policy. Okay, so it's a title policy, meaning that they did do a title search on your property, and there was no issues on title at this time. Okay, and the reason you want to buy that at closing is very simple. Okay, so if something does, if the attorney or the title company did make an error, okay, so if they did make an error on it, guess what? You don't have to pay for it. There's an insurance coverage for that. So you should definitely go through. I bought it on every single home that I have ever purchased. I bought title insurance. Okay, it can really help you out for sure down the road in case something did happen. So always keep that in mind. So let's get to closing. So now you've got step one done, we got step two done, and technically step three, okay, we got done as well, which was the title search. Now it's time to go to closing. Okay, so now it's time to exchange the keys, exchange the monies. Okay, so this is the fun part. So a lot of people ask, what do you wear? Okay, so what do you wear? It's fine to just wear. It's fine, just wear whatever your normal clothes are. Okay, just wear your normal clothes. Is this something that you have to do a suit and tie for? Absolutely not. You can if you want. There's really no such thing as being overdressed at a closing, but you just don't want to be underdressed. Okay, so don't go there with you just been mowing grass for the past 12 hours and you just look like you're all sweaty and whatnot. I wouldn't go there like that. You might get a little, might get a couple sniffs and might get a couple weird looks. But just wear normal clothes. Okay, so just wear normal clothes to it. Make sure that you have your driver's license or an ID with you. Have to. Okay, make sure that you've got a driver's license or an ID with your picture on it. Okay, now you're going to have to give that to the closing attorney or the closing agent, whoever's closing your deal. Okay, so here's typically the way it's going to be. You're going to be at a round table. Okay, so you're going to be at a round table, and your realtor or the title company, they will tell you where this closing is going to be located at and what time it's going to be located. Okay, or what time it's going to be. Okay, so typically it's going to be at a round table, and there's going to be chairs on the side, there's going to be chairs on the end. That's typically how it's being done. Now the person that sits on the end is always going to be the paper pusher, I call them. Okay, they're the paper pusher. They're always a notary. Okay, so they're always a notary, and what they're doing is it's pretty much going to be the attorney or it's going to be the title agent. Okay, so it's going to be the attorney or the title agent. Now what their job is they're going to be giving you papers that they get from the lender and from the sellers to get you to sign off on. Okay, so they're going to give you the deed, they're going to give you all that stuff to sign off on. Okay, and all you got to do is read through all those papers and sign and initial everywhere they tell you to do that. make sure that you completely understand absolutely everything. If you've got any questions, ask. If you've got any questions, ask. Well, why is this done? That's what they're there for. That's what that attorney or title company is there for, to answer your questions, to make sure that you feel secure into your transaction. Okay, that's what they're there for. Okay, so if you got any questions, ask. So what's going to happen is you're going to sit on this side. You're going to have you as the buyer is going to sit on this side. The seller is going to sit on this side. If you have a realtor representing you, they'll probably sit right next to you if they go to there, and they better go there. Okay, the seller is going to be sitting right across from you. Right next to the seller is going to be the seller's listing agent, if they use the listing agent. Okay, and then at the head of the table is going to be that title company. Okay, or that attorney, and they're going to just start pushing papers between you and the seller, getting everybody's signature. They're going to have all documents signed. Okay, if you need to bring any money, okay, to the seller, they're also going to take care of all the money, and then they're going to give all that money to that seller. Okay, so whenever you would think that whenever you buy a house, okay, so you would think that whenever you buy a house, that you're just cutting the seller a check if you need to cut a check. Don't work like that. You got to give it to the attorney or the title company and have that neutral third party have it so that they can distribute it to the seller. That's the way that it works, so that your money is always secure. Okay, so your money is always secure. So once you get done signing off all the papers and whatnot, the seller is going to hand you over the keys or tell you how to get access into the house. I strongly advise that whenever you get the keys to the house, you always change the locks. You always change the locks. It only makes sense. Who else has a key to that house? So always change the locks. Even if they say they were already changed, change the locks so that you know that you're secure. Okay, so once the money is transferred, once the keys are transferred, you take the keys, you go to your new house. It's that simple. So always understand that there's always going to be a title company or an attorney inside the transaction acting as a third party between you and the seller, so that you know that everything is always good and secure. If you got any questions, definitely ask them, and they will answer anything. Again, that is what they're there for. So hopefully this answered a lot of your questions. Closings are fun. Closings are fun. It's where the money's exchanged. It's where you get the keys to your new house. So congratulations, you just bought yourself a house.